College News, brought to you by the Murray State News.
Hello, and welcome to this week's edition of the College News. I'm Rachel Essner.
And I'm Deontay Berry. We begin this week with the situation in Ukraine. While Americans have been glued to media reports coming out of Ukraine, for some racers, the war hits closer to home.
We got an opportunity to talk to a former Murray State student who asked to remain anonymous due to safety concerns about what he is experiencing back home. As more than 600,000 people flee the Russian-invaded country, some Ukrainians have chosen to stay and protect their land. A man we are calling John Smith was at Murray State just last semester as an exchange student studying business administration. Now he is held up in a friend's house in southern Ukraine, listening to explosions and preparing materials to go underground if needed. He says the Western world should not believe President Putin's propaganda, but instead to listen to what the Ukrainian people are saying and sharing on social media.
I would like to say that, part of war, it's held by information war in Ukraine. There are a lot of fake news here, and there are a lot of fake news from Russian side. As far as they said, the government said they do not have any died soldiers, but it's not the truth. There are a lot of died people in the fields of Ukrainian.
Smith says his family is still in eastern Ukraine, which worries him. He does plan to stay in his current location for the time being. To read more about our conversation with Smith, as well as a current Murray State student from Ukraine, pick up a copy of tomorrow's Murray State News.
Masks are no longer required in buildings on campus. This comes after the CDC released COVID-19 community-level guidelines that group an area into 3 levels: low, medium, and high. Callaway County is currently in the medium level. Should the community return to high, masking will be required on campus again.
This afternoon, the Brothers of Murray's chapter of Pi Kappa Alpha will be hosting a blood drive in conjunction with the Murray-Callaway County Hospital Blood Donor Center. This drive will be held inside the Pike House at 105 North 16th Street from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. For more information, call 270-762-1119. Students can expect a new look in the Curris Center soon. With no official start date, Murray State plans to remodel the Curris Center within the next few years, with roughly a $4 million budget. SGA President Ian Puckett said students can expect to see many changes.
It's going to be a total and complete overhaul. It's going to look completely different in a good way. There's going to be a whole new color scheme. There's going to be lots of navy, lots and lots of gold. It's going to look very fresh is what I think the best word is.
Other additions include more lounging space for students, an esports center, a new layout for the Office of Student Involvement, along with many more changes. Puckett encourages students to reach out to himself or any administrator with feedback or concerns. Pictures of the plan can be found in the Curris Center outside of Starbucks.
As we are well into tax season, those on campus have the opportunity for income tax preparation. The Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program, also known as VITA, is a free tax preparation initiative provided through the IRS. Not only are the services free, but they are provided by accounting and finance students and directed by Assistant Accounting Professor Denise O'Shaughnessy.
Here at Murray State, this is our 46th year offering this VITA program for both our students to be able to get real life work experience and to help out our community, our students, our faculty, and our international students.
The VITA program will have first come, first served sessions on select Fridays in Business Building Room 353. In order to have your taxes prepared, the documents listed will be needed.
The Murray State men's basketball team are OVC regular season champions and headed to the OVC tournament this week. Here is Connor Capito with a look at what's making headlines in racer sports.
Coach Matt McMahon was named the OVC Men's Basketball Coach of the Year, and KJ Williams was named Player of the Year in the OVC. Williams also joins Tevin Brown and Juice Hill as first-team All-OVC. After locking up the regular season title by defeating the Bruins of Belmont 76-43 on senior night at home, the men's basketball team faced off against SEMO on the road, who nearly snapped the Racers' 17-game win streak. However, they escaped with a 70-68 victory to close out regular season play. The Racers will be back in action this Friday at 6:30 p.m. at the Ford Center in Evansville, Indiana, to take on Southern Illinois University of Edwardsville in the semifinals of the OVC tournament after securing a double bye as the number 1 seed. Fans are encouraged to go ahead and get your tickets. They run $28 each plus $14 in fees and are available on Ticketmaster.com. For those who can't make the trip, the game will air on ESPNU. The women's basketball team lost to the Belmont Bruins 85-79. They did bounce back against SEMO with an 86-54 victory to close out their regular season. The women's basketball team got the number 3 seed in the OVC tournament. They are slated to take the court in Evansville on Thursday at 3:30 p.m. against the winner of UT Martin and SIU Edwardsville. Tickets for the women's game are $13 plus $13 in fees. Over the weekend, the softball team went 3-1 in the Mercer tournament as they defeated Mercer University twice and won 1 of 2 against Middle Tennessee. They will travel to Carbondale, Illinois this weekend to play 5 games in the Coach B Classic. The baseball team won a 4-game weekend series against the Northern Illinois Huskies. The Racers played today at home at 3 p.m. against the Knights of Bellarmine and then again this weekend in Tuscaloosa against the Alabama Crimson Tide. Be sure to follow the Murray State News on social media and thenews.org as the Racers head into OVC Championship Week. That's all for sports.
Thanks, Connor. Homecoming and Family Weekend are 2 of the most loved traditions here at Murray State.
Both events will take place in the upcoming fall 2022 semester. Mark your calendar for September 23rd and 24th for Family Weekend. Planned activities will be updated on the university's website at a later time. Murray State is celebrating homecoming the weekend of October 27th. Celebrate the Centennial is the theme since 2022 marks the university's 100-year anniversary.
That's all for this week's edition of the College News. Be sure to pick up a copy of the Murray State News on shelves tomorrow to read more on how Ukrainian students at Murray State are coping with the violence back home.
And don't forget to join us back here next Wednesday for another edition of the College News. Have a great week.